In this video, I'm going to be going over the interface on the MVRs, DVRs, and SDI DVRs. Primarily the same across the board. The only difference is that the NVR will have an IP setting interface, and I'll get into that in a little bit. So here you can see I click on a camera and I get a little pop-up. I can start recording manually. Instant playback gives you the past 5 minutes of playback on that particular camera. Turn audio on, take a snapshot. Digital zoom, when I click on it down here in the bottom right, I'll get a box. I can just zoom in on that. Keep zooming in. Um, so from there I can change the settings, which will basically be your contrast, stuff like that. Live view strategy, I go over this kinda in the mobile app video that I do. Here you can switch to real time, which will be your full 1080p. Balance will be in between the both, and fluency will be a less kinda picture that you'll be getting. So you guys switch it to real time, you get a little better image up here in the top left corner. So let's get into the menu. So here you'll have the playback. The playback feature primarily lets you pick cameras, do the playback and such. So here I'll select all my playback cameras, Thursday here, and then I hit the play and I get playback on all those cameras. I can play up to 16 cameras at the same time. As you see here, I can click through it and scroll in between the recordings and such. Now, to get out, I just right click and I'll go into export. Now export here, I can change and I can search between events, which events is basically I'll be searching motion inside 24/7 recording. That is built into the recording, so I do have that option. So here when I do the searching here, pick a day, I'll search. I don't have any recordings here, let's open it up a little bit. Alright, so here now I get the export feature. Now the export I would just check, and what's really nice about this system is I can lock recordings, as you see I have done here already. So say I have this recording and I want to save it, it doesn't want to get overwritten at all. I'll just here on the right there's a little lock and I'll lock it. Now upon unlocking it I actually get prompts, so these can't get magically unlocked. Alright, so if I were to export, I have this one checked in, export it. And if I have a USB in here, it would default to that, but I do not, so it goes right to the DVD ROM drive that I have in here. If I had a USB in here, I could create folders, jump through folders. And when I export it, it exports it out in MP4 format, which is really nice because that's universal. From there, you can convert it over to any .avi or anything that you would need. So I'll right click out of here. From here we'll go into hard drive setup. You can see here the second hard drive sleeping since it's not being recorded to, which is a nice feature since I will not be wasting the lifetime of the hard drive by having it spin while it's not being used. One of the really nice things about this system is quota and grouping. Basically quotaing, I can allocate camera space from the hard drive to the particular unit. Here you see I have 700 left before I had 900. So now camera 1 has 200 gigabytes primarily reserved to just that camera. So say your camera 1 was outside and you needed it for 30 days and the other cameras are all inside, cameras 2 through 8, and you only needed maybe 3 or 4 days of recording. So I could allocate 700 gigabytes to camera 1 and the rest will be used by the other cameras, which allows me not to have to dump a lot of money into hard drives to be able to get the allocation that I need. Grouping similar, but out here I would set up to what hard drive I want what cameras to record to. So I can set, cameras 1 and 2 and 3 to record the hard drive 1, and the rest will record the hard drive 2. What's nice is I can group, and then inside the grouping, I can go in and quota those also. When we get into the recording settings here, you can set your schedule basically by editing, select all days, motion. We'll copy that across all 7 days, hit OK, apply, OK, and then I'll copy that across all cameras, OK, apply, and then I'm done. Now all cameras are, as you can see, on motion recording. Parameters lets you choose the encodings, primarily with a 1080p. You'll want to allocate at least 4 megabytes to it. You can even go up to 816. Here I can do customize. I can enter in my own numbers. Say I want to just do 6,000 megabytes, and I'm done. Substream, I can change between what substream I use. Here I want to set it to 4CIF. I want to bump it up a little bit for those remote view to look nice and crisp. Hit apply, and that is done. I can also turn off the overriding, and holiday allows me to say if I have a special event on the weekend I would like it to record 24/7 during that event. I can set that all up in here. The camera interface, and this is the only one that's different, is as you see here, I'll have different IPs, and you can see it show up. So if I wanted to add it, I would just add it here, click the add button, and it pops it in. Um, I do have statuses, as you can see, the model numbers. You can import, I can upgrade from here. Um, OSD is pretty nice, no more XY axis. I can just click and drag and hit apply, and it'll move the on-screen display around. I can turn it off. As you can see here, the numbers do change from white to black. It's an auto adjusting, so if these were white on a white wall, you wouldn't be able to see them, but since it goes to black, you're able to see them. Here's your image settings. I can do this also from the front, like I showed you before. Motion's pretty nice. Say I have, my head here. I don't want motion to be recorded on it, but I still want to see that picture. So such as things as a fan or something, I can turn it off. I can also set motion alarms. I can set a schedule for them, and I can set it to a full screen display, an audible alarm through the machine, notifies surveillance center, send out an email, and I'll get that into a little bit, and trigger an alarm output. Privacy masking allows me to say, you have a bathroom or, a vault which needs a key entered. You can block it out. And then on the recordings, you will not see these blockouts. Video tampering is temporary. Kind of like when you're in the movies. Somebody masks the video image. They shoot the camera with a paintball. You can turn it on so it can detect if the video image is being blocked. And from there, you can also do the whole alarm and send out what type of alarm you want. Video loss is primarily, if the camera loses signal, camera is destroyed. You can also set up alarms for that as well. We'll get into the configuration here. Here you'll see you could adjust the time zones, the resolution. Daylight saving time is nice. You just hit auto adjust and apply. You don't have to actually enter it in. It automatically adjusts the DST unless you want to do it manually. But there's no need to enter that in anymore. You just hit it in and hit apply. One of the other nice things about the system, you have an auto adjust here. So say I have VGA plugged in and I have it set to a certain resolution. I'm plugging in HDMI and that resolution is not supported. On a lot of the other systems, you'll get just a blinking screen. Can't make a connection. You got to go back in with the VGA, change it to something that the HDMI supports, and then plug the HDMI in. You no longer have to do that with this system. Here you have the network. As you can see, I have network, and with these, I have a PoE 8 on it. So I have an internal NIC, which allows me to put 8 cameras onto the MVR, not up on the network. So say you have a small mom and pop shop, 8 cameras they want up, 3 megapixel. They have their POS, they have their IP phone systems. I can allow to have all the camera traffic just through the MVR, and that eliminates having all that megapixel traffic over their network, bogging down their network. Here with the email, I can enter in the email. I can have a nice little test option down here in the corner. And I can also change my ports. Primarily we use an 8000, as this is the second NVR here. I have it as 8001. Port 80. And for HTTP, which I should actually change to port 81, because I have another one on port 80 already. And the RTS for the real-time streaming port, which we use, is 554. Some of the other nice things here, live view. I can change when I boot up what kind of view I want to see my cameras in. I have it set by 2x2 since I only have 2 cameras connected. The view is very nice here. I'd say I plug in 16 cameras, and I don't want to go around and unplug them to make them look. I want camera 7 up in camera 1. I want camera 1 down here. This is what the customer wants. They want their 7th camera to be the first one. I hit apply. It carries across to all types of displays, and depending on which display I pick, allows me to have them all show up. Zero channel encoding is a nice little feature for say people that have DSL. They want to see 16 cameras, make sure they're all up. This will push all 16 cameras to one single camera view, so you can see that all cameras are connected. And then with the playback, you can go back and play back in high resolution. Exceptions, as you can see from the front, there was a little event thing that was popping up in the bottom left corner. I can set that to what I want it to pop up for. And here I have all my exceptions where I can change from errors, alarms, and whatnot. Let's go back in there. Hotspare is a nifty little feature. Say I have 2 units up on the network. This unit I would do normal. I would link to the other unit. The other unit I set to a hot spare. Primarily what that is, if this unit gets destroyed, can't record anymore, loses power, the hard drive fails, the hot spare, which could be hidden somewhere, will pick up all the network cameras and start recording as this one fails. On the maintenance tab here, you can see the model numbers. This is a nifty little thing as it shows me what bit rates I am, what frame rate I'm at, what resolution I'm at for all my cameras. Here's the network settings and some more things about the hard drive. Log information is very nice. As you can see here, I have a lot of things to search by. And when I search, everything's got a nice little unit to it. I can play back what happened there on the motion. So you start motion, I can play it. I'll get a nice little pop-up on the motion. But I've been unplugging and plugging my cameras in constantly here. So here's the details about what's going on. And the nice thing about the log is that I cannot delete any of my log information. In a lot of these systems, you can log into it, delete that you were there, and then wreak havoc, and no one knows that you did it. So here I'll have import export configurations, upgrade the system, set the default, and net detect's a really nice feature. What this does is it shows me real-time sending and receiving of the units. So here you can see it makes a connection, and then to kick it off, it says the sending and the receiving here. NetDetect gives me basically an internal ping. I can ping out, try to ping test, see if I'm having any connection issues. And this shows me IP cameras, what they're using, my live view, my playback, etc., and what I'm using in allocation wise. As you can see, this 32 channel has 160 megabytes, which is far superior to any of our competitors. So with the hard drive detection, this is also nice for some tech guys. You get, formatted hard drives here, so I can run smart tests. I can check for bad sectors, and I can do all this while I'm recording, which is really nice. So that's pretty much it for the user interface here. Here I get my logout, shutdown, reboot, etc., etc. So, thank you.